Hello and welcome to Geeks and Gaijins. I'm the Gaijin John.
And I'm the Geek Tom. Let the controversy begin.
Indeed, Crunchyroll, which is the biggest Western anime streamer, does a set of awards each year. For those of our listeners who aren't too big into anime, we won't go too in depth. We will go quickly through each of the things, if we've seen it, what we've heard of. But we know a good amount of like the anime this season, or we've watched a decent amount. So with that intro, let us begin.
Okay, so we'll be beginning with the best protagonist category and moving on from there, and we'll be saving anime of the year for the very end.
Yep.
So let's start with best protagonist, as I just said, and the 6 protagonists available are Emma from The Promised Neverland. Forgive me for this pronunciation. Hyakimaru from Dororo.
Hyakimaru.
Saitama from One Punch Man.
It's Saitama.
Saitama from One Punch Man.
There's an I in his name, and it's the same as the Japanese prefecture.
Sonku from Dr. Stone. Taliko Komodo from Demon Slayer. And
Tanjiro.
And Honda Accord from Fruits Basket.
Yeah, all right. So we've at least seen... I've seen 4 out of the 6 of these, or at least...
You've done way better than I have. Yeah, I haven't seen much of these, which is going to be a routine thing from here. But I can see both Senku and Tanjiro being pretty popular picks.
Oh, definitely. Especially because they came out this side of the year. Whereas The Promised Neverland is going to come up a lot. This very big horror anime, essentially built on a world where a group of children find out that they're being raised to be eaten by these monsters, and they try to escape from where they're living. Essentially got huge amounts of praise. It's a really good one, and it's going to come up a lot. And because I hate horror, I haven't seen it, but apparently it's great.
I get a feeling that Promised Neverland, whilst really quite highly praised, is a bit of a niche genre that not as many people are going to have seen. Similar with Dororo.
This is the thing. I think it's going to win stuff because it's one of those things that people watch it and think, haha, I'm really clever for having watched this. Therefore, obviously, you should vote for me. The same for Dororo. It came out really early this year. I love it. I voted for Hyakimaru because I think he's an amazing protagonist who can't even speak or do stuff. He has so much complex, and I love it because he's the guy who has to kill monsters to essentially get parts of his body, including his eyes and his tongue and his ears, with swords attached to his arms. And oh god, it's such a great thing. And also just spoilers for like a huge amount of stuff. They haven't put the other character in there, Dororo, in any of these ones because the main category that they should be in is a massive spoiler. And so for those who know Dororo will know what I mean, and those who don't will have to just watch an amazing anime on Amazon Prime.
Oh no, those poor people having to watch good anime.
Exactly. So which ones have you seen? I've
only
seen Dr. Stone.
I've seen half of Dr. Stone and all of Demon Slayer, and out of the 2, I just prefer Tanjiro as a person over Senku. So
yeah,
I did see the first season of One Punch Man, so I do like Saitama, but obviously I haven't seen him in this season.
Season 2 wasn't, the animation was different, so didn't change the writing that much, but it's generally, he's Saitama isn't that interesting a protagonist generally because he's so overpowered. It tends to be the people around him who are more interesting rather than him.
Fair.
Senku, yeah, I can imagine him being he could be very popular. To me, Tanjiro is just a bit too boring and not one note, but he kind of is.
He doesn't really do anything special as a protagonist. He doesn't massively stand out, but it's the same with all of Demon Slayer. It just does what it does very well.
Yeah, exactly. So
Tanjiro may not be necessarily original, but he is still very strong. I
can see either Tanjiro or Senku winning this. I have no idea about Fruits Basket. It was a remake of an old anime remake. It's just a redoing. So I assume it's a very beloved character anyway. So I have no idea. But I'm going to tout either Senku or Tanjiro to win it, and I want Hyakimaru. What are your opinions, Thomas?
Not only would my vote probably go to Tanjiro just because I'm not going to vote on any of these because obviously I don't feel fair voting on things when I've only seen a couple of the contenders. But knowing the popularity of Demon Slayer from the Funimation Audience Awards, I'm going to say that any award that Demon Slayer's
can win
it's probably going to win just to sheer popularity alone.
I will say Crunchyroll, the Crunchyroll Awards, you do vote for them, but that's only about half the points. The other half is a set of judges.
Yeah, so there's that.
So it's not a pure popularity contest.
It won't work out exactly like the Funimation Anime of the Decade Award did. So there's that. Anyway, moving on to Best Antagonist.
Best Antagonist.
Imagaze from Babylon, Angela from Carole Tuesday, Askeladd from Vinland Saga, Garu from One Punch Man Season 2, Isabella from The Promised Neverland, and Overhaul from My Hero Academia Season 4.
Okay. So
thoughts, John?
First of all, I've not seen Babylon. I didn't watch far enough into One Punch Man Season 2 to meet the villain. I also haven't. I've been like behind on My Hero Academia mostly because like I was getting sad vibes, and I want to binge it all to get that out of the way. So I haven't seen a huge amount of Overhaul, and to be honest, he doesn't seem that interesting a villain to me. But that's just because I've not like seen him enough. So I don't know if you have a totally different opinion to that. I love Askeladd because Vinland Saga, he's the villain who kills the main character's father, but then also has his own kind of weird honor as well, because he lets the kid join, and he's like, okay, I will give you a chance to kill me if you do something, or like in a duel, if you do something great on the battlefield. I love that kind of like half father / antagonist kind of role. It's just
and I believe Isabella also fills a similar role in The Promised Neverland.
Yeah, because she's the mother role who is going to end up probably killing them and eating them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you've watched Carole Tuesday. How do you think Angela?
I've recently completed Carole Tuesday, only just last night. And Angela, whilst a great character overall, I think one of the strongest written in the whole show, it's kind of a strange position to be in, an antagonist, because she's not really all that villainous, and she doesn't really even, as much as the show likes to position her as it, she doesn't really seem to fit as a rival character either to Carole Tuesday. So even if I thought she was an amazingly written character, I wouldn't really call her best antagonist, because she doesn't really collide with or contrast with Carole Tuesday enough to compete with some of the more serious villains in here. I'd also say that Overhaul, whilst a fairly decent antagonist, definitely someone worthy of hatred, it kind of falls short of my expectations for My Hero Academia villain.
Like, his powers seem cool, but I'm not sure how much personality there is behind him just kind of being a bit evil. But
there's enough story there to properly flesh him out, and he does some crazy things with his powers, and he's got a very interesting plan, probably one of the more concrete plans we've seen in the whole series. But no, I don't really think that he even when I don't know what the other villains are like, I don't think he'd be worthy of getting best antagonist either. But the problem here is that My Hero Academia is one of the more popular shows on this list. So
yeah, so he might get it. I'm thinking Promised Neverland here as one of those ones of like, ooh. But also Vinland Saga has a lot of nominations in this list and is really popular. Obviously, we don't know about Babylon. I've no idea. I think there's still enough community hatred for like One Punch Man Season 2 that I don't think it's going to win really anything. I'm definitely going to give my one to Askeladd, but that's very much easily going to be taken by Isabella or Overhaul.
Mm-hmm. So moving on to Best Boy.
Yep. Okay. So we're going to go a bit faster now because those are the ones that have like more depth and story behind them.
Yeah.
Best Boy is just that cutest / the best boy.
Yeah.
Who
So
won
we have
around.
Bruno from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Hyakimaru from Dororo, Kanata from Astro Lost in Space, who is this? Naruzo from How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift, which is an interesting contender in the Crunchyroll Awards, Mob from Mob Psycho 100, and Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. I'm going to put it out there. My vote's on Mob straight away.
Yeah, because Mob is seriously a best boy. He is just the bestest of boys. For those who don't know, Mob Psycho 100, essentially about a kid who has massive telepathic powers, but just kind of wants to be less awkward and talk to girls and exercise. But yeah, and the second series came out this year. It was also quite early in the year, so I'm pretty sure this might end up going to like Tanjiro. I'm surprised. I'm surprised they don't have anyone else from Demon Slayer on here, like Zenitsu or.
I think it's good that they didn't put multiple candidates from the same show in. That would have been pretty rough.
Yakimaru, I think he's much more a best protagonist than he is a best boy. But he seriously is a best, like he is a best boy as well. Because so much of the show, he's just kind of being half looked up. He's amazing at killing things, but he's also just being like looked after as well, which I think is why he has such best boy vibes.
No, I'm happy to see Astra Lost in Space repped in these awards, but I'm not entirely sure about if it's got no chance of winning a Best Boy award, despite how many good boys it has. Personally, I would prefer to see Zach in Best Boy rather than Kanata, but that's just me.
And I have no idea about how heavy are the dumbbells you lift.
No, somehow I haven't got around to watching that, but I'm sure Naruto is a good boy. That's
either one, a light novel adaptation, 2, a comedy, 3, a sports anime, or 4, all of the above, and that means I'm definitely not going to watch it. And right. I'm thinking JoJo might win just for the memes.
We know that JoJo has a devout following, so there's always a good chance. It's never underestimate a JoJo.
Exactly. Nominees for Best Girl, it's the same, but for girls. Who'd have thunk? I'm going to take over this bit. Because I want to say their names.
Go for it.
We have Carole from Carole Tuesday. We have Chika Fujiwara from Kaguya-sama Love is War. We have Emma from The Promised Neverland. We have Kohyaku from Dr. Stone. We have Nezuko from Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba. And Raftalia from Rising of the Shield Hero. Thomas, thoughts?
Okay, so first confession. I haven't watched any of The Promised Neverland, so you'll have to forgive me for this, but just from the promotional material, I didn't realize that Emma was a girl.
I think you can be forgiven because they're like 10. And like
she's got short hair, she's fairly androgynous just to look at. But yeah, I didn't guess that right at all. But hey, good to see her repped, I guess.
You're actually much better for this because I never watched up to Dr. Stone where like more of the characters actually start to come in other than Senku.
Yeah, again, I'm only halfway through the show, so I haven't seen the full depth of Kohaku, but she seems nice enough at the moment. She's definitely got enough going for her that she's not just a tag along, which can be a problem.
And just from the memes from Raftalia, Rising of Shield Hero, she's a cute raccoon girl with raccoon ears. And that's one of the only things that has made me want to watch an isekai all year. So fair enough. That's pretty strong best girl vibes.
Let's be real here. This is Raftalia versus Nezuko. There's no one else competing in this category. As much as I love Chika from Kaguya-sama Love is War, she's probably not going to get a look in over the other two.
Yeah, but I was really thinking, because especially her dance, which was also memeified earlier this year, is like a very much best girly thing. But yeah, it's Nezuko's battle to lose. Because you have cute demon girl versus cute raccoon girl.
The only thing holding Nezuko back is that she's less of a character and more of a plot point for most of the show.
Yeah,
So,
she doesn't actually have a huge amount of character, which is mostly due to the fact she can't speak. And just kind of looks at people with cute eyes. I'm not saying there isn't a better way. She isn't a bad character. She could definitely be better, even if they don't want her to speak more.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just interested that Carole, out of Carole and Tuesday, was put in as best girl. Not because, I think she's a bad character, but it's just interesting that that they chose
Carole,
her over
not
Tuesday. They're pretty equivalent in my book. They're mostly the same, to be honest. Although I can see why Carole might have the edge, because I think she has just a slightly better use of her story than Tuesday. But yeah, I don't think that she's got a chance to win over the others. Best director, we have very little say in this. We've got Attack on Titan, Babylon, Carole and Tuesday, Mob Psycho, Sada Sanmai, and Vinland Saga. You going for Vinland Saga on that one, John?
I would, just because it's one of the only ones I've probably seen, but it has some really good mixture of 3D animation and fight scenes, as well as story-based stuff. So I'm saying it's pretty good. It's a pretty good mix, and the director has a pretty good shot at it.
Yeah, I really liked the direction of Mob Psycho, so I'd be happy with that one. But most of the shows that are listed here look like they're really strong contenders.
Exactly. I don't think I'd be sad with any of these winning. I don't know so much about Saran Zanmai because I've not watched. Oh, that's the one with the 3 Cooper
Kappas, yeah.
Kappas. That's basically where 3 kids get turned into Japanese water spirits to do stuff. He is the director himself, Kunihiko Ikihara, has is very renowned as a kind of very weird personality. So I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up getting that. But no, I think they're all strong candidates, and any more of us talking about them would probably be us talking out our bottoms.
Yeah. I don't think Carole and Tuesday really deserves to be in the same bracket as these, maybe, but that might be because I'm missing important information about how they judge direction.
All right,
so
best animation.
I might be off on that one. Attack on Titan again, Demon Slayer, Fate Grand Order, Mob Psycho, Sarazanmai, and Vinland Saga again.
They're all really strong candidates. Demon Slayer, they're all really good. They're all really good. They all have good fight scenes. They all have good kind of semi-mixtures of 3D and 2D. I'm actually surprised that, especially Vinland Saga and Kimetsu no Yaiba, and I think Fate Grand Order all have a bunch of big 3D in their stuff, which you don't see a lot of.
Yep.
But other than that, they're all really good. They're all really amazingly animated anime.
Yeah.
They're so pretty.
I think Demon Slayer has some really good moments, but I'm not sure if I can say if throughout the show I would have given it best animation.
Oh no, definitely not compared to something like Mob Psycho 100, but it has those bits, which are especially all the bits that people remember, and I'm thinking especially in terms of the popular vote, it's going to go to Demon Slayer on this one.
I certainly commend Demon Slayer's blend of 3D and 2D. It does really good jobs with that, so I can see that giving it a bit of an edge.
Okay, and now best character design. We have basically Carole and Tuesday, Dororo, Dr. Stone, Kaguya-sama Love is War, Sarazanmai, and Vinland Saga again. This is once again a really strong category, I think.
Yeah, I think Kaguya-sama Love is War, as much as I really do like the show, not sure if the character designs are particularly special just because they are limited to school uniforms.
Yeah.
So whilst some of the girls have really interesting designs above the neck, everything is pretty basic beyond there.
Yeah. Vinland Saga, I think, has some really interesting, the way they do different characters. They're really good at basically telling them all apart, even though they have, they're kind of bound to traditional, Viking dress and stuff. But I think it's really good. Dororo, I really love just because there are so many demons and stuff that have interesting character designs and stuff, and that really lets them kind of show off a bunch of the things, especially because of the design with Dororo himself, because he starts to grow back different parts of his limbs. And like, just, I really like Dororo for this, but I wouldn't be surprised if any of the other ones win it.
Yep.
Especially because you also have the adaptation version, because the original character design is by Hiroyuki Asada, which is the very, very old manga artist, but now like it being updated, I really like. But yeah, that's just me.
Best score.
I have no opinion because my taste in music is trash. I can see Carole Tuesday winning this just because it's a music based anime.
Yeah.
Nominations: Attack on Titan Season 2, Carole Tuesday, Demon Slayer, Dr. Stone, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and The Rising of the Shield Hero.
I do remember I do remember some of Demon Slayer's songs. I do quite like those. They're on my playlist. But that's like OPED and that one insert song they had for episode 19. I don't know if the actual score has left an impression on me.
But is it You Say Run? Da-na-na-na.
In that respect, Dr. Stone's fusion of sort of tribalistic music with sort of a interesting hip-hop vibe was more noticeable than either Demon Slayer's.
It's very good. Dr. Stone is very good. That very much takes up the theme as well. Like, and I also haven't seen JoJo's, but possibly the memes.
I mean, JoJo's is known for its use of music, so I'm not going to contend with that.
What do you think of Carole Tuesday? Because obviously it's a music-based anime. You'd expect the music to be good.
Yeah, the best part of the show is far and away the music. So if they're including all of the songs, which basically make up just an entire album of music, maybe two, then Carole Tuesday should, in theory, run away with this. But we'll wait and see. It does seem like it's theirs to win on that one.
Yep, I've just realized how many categories we have left, so let's get this faster. Nominees for Best Fight Scene, we have Emperor Crimson versus Metallic, JoJo's, haven't seen it. Levi versus Beast Titan on Attack on Titan Season 3. Mob versus Tochiro on Mob Psycho 100. Tanjiro and Nezuko versus Rui on Demon Slayer. Thorfinn versus Thorkel on Vinland Saga. And Wakamaru versus Tiamat at Fate Grand Autumn.
I'm divided on the two I've seen, Mob and Demon Slayer, just because I believe Mob versus Tochiro was visually far and away superior to Demon Slayer's. Even despite how good Demon Slayer was, Mob Psycho was just fantastic with its use of the scenery and visuals and everything. That being said, Tanjiro and Nezuko versus Rui, I think, was a little bit more emotionally resonant with me. It had a bit stronger with the characters.
It's one of the points where you've been watching the entire 19 episodes up to that point, and you're like, it was worth it just for this moment.
Yeah, so that one comes down to two different functions of a fight scene for me, so I can't call that one.
And I actually haven't seen. I'm not up to this point yet in Vinland Saga, so I can't say anything about that. So I don't know if it has any plot significance. But yeah, definitely Mob Psycho or Demon Slayer, I think, are definitely big ones on this. Everyone loves Levi. He's a big best boy for lots of people, so he might just win because thing. Then Best Couple nominees. We have Baki Hanma and Kazuo Matsumoto from Baki. Kaguya-sama Love is War, Kaguya and Miyuki. Given, I've never heard of this. Sarah and Sanmai, Oh Maidens in Your Savage Season, and Attack on Titan Season 3. Yeah, I haven't seen any of these.
Okay. I've got Kaguya-sama Love is War and Oh Maidens in Your Savage Season to choose between, and whilst obviously Kaguya-sama Love and War is a show all about these two characters and their growing relationship, they aren't technically a couple, so it's hard to give them the edge on that one. Meanwhile, Rika and Shun from O Maidens is a really nice, cute couple, and I do like them, but it's not particularly incredible in terms of writing. They don't get a lot of the spotlight.
I will say good rep here for both anime and Crunchyroll. A good amount of same-sex best relationships here.
Yeah, it's a pretty good balance there. I mean, Given also really deserves to be represented here because that relationship is pretty central to the show, as far as I can tell. The rest, I'm not sure about. So
Yeah, neither am I.
That's going to be interesting to see who wins on that. Do you want to do the VA performances?
We'll do them quickly. Sarazanmai, Mamoru Miyano from Sarazanmai, Sayori Hayama from Demon Slayer, Yuichi Nakamura from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Yukino Satsuki from Babylon, Yuko Kaida from The Promised Neverland, and Yusuke Kobayashi from Dr. Stone. Those were the voice actors. Generally, I don't like the Demon Slayer choice, just because that character isn't that important. I don't think the VA...
Where's the rep for Zenitsu's voice actor? Could you imagine what Zenitsu's voice actor had to...
Yeah, Generally, I can see, especially though I haven't seen Babylon or The Promised Neverland, a good VA on a really good antagonist is probably one of my favorite things in like most media.
Good spot on that one. I hadn't figured that.
So I think definitely, I don't know. So I haven't. And Senku, like Yusuke Kobayashi, is a great Senku. Like he sounds exactly like I imagine that character to sound. So I think probably those three much more than. I don't think Demon Slayer should win this one, and I hope it doesn't, but it might. And also JoJo, because memes.
Have you watched any dubs, John?
I have not.
Then we should skip English voice.
I have watched, so there's the best one for English VA. They have Mob Psycho 100, Fruits Basket, Agretsuko Season 2, and I have seen Season 1. Erica Mendez as Retsuko is great. She is so that character. So much. They have Rising of Shield Hero, Konosuba, and also the new anime dub of Neon Genesis Evangelion, which I haven't watched yet.
No opinion on that, John?
Not particularly.
All right. Best comedy?
Watched it. But yeah, Erica Mendez is great. Yeah, best comedy. So we have Agretsuko Season 2, How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift, which I didn't hear of until this list, so I'm not going to say. Isekai Quartet, Kaguya-sama Love is War, My Roommate is a Cat, and Sarazanmai.
My money's on Kaguya-sama.
Yeah, I think it has the most, most presence of all those. Especially.
Yeah. I liked Isekai Quartet, but it wasn't particularly original. It was mostly repeating the comedy from the other shows, just adjacent to each other.
It's just isekai squished together. It's just, I think Sarazanmai, especially from its prevalence on this list, it seems like the kind of comedy that people like because it's both weird and like it's award level comedy of like, ooh, you pushed boundaries and this is weird as hell. Therefore, it's funny.
Yeah, I don't see how heavy are the dumbbells you lift or My Roommate is a Cat winning this. I don't think so.
No,
I think there were stronger contenders they could have put in this category.
Best fantasy, because God, we're coming up to almost an hour recording, and I want to sit down. Best fantasy, Ascendance of Bookworm, never heard of it. Astro Lost in Space, yeah. Attack on Titan Season 2, yeah. Demon Slayer, Sarazanmai, and The Promised Neverland. Those all sound really great.
My only problem is that Astro Lost in Space is a sci-fi and not a fantasy, but we don't have a best sci-fi category, despite we probably have enough contenders to fit it.
I don't think anime does, to be honest. I really don't think it does.
At least it's being repped, and I did really enjoy it, but from the buzz I've been hearing recently, this is Ascendance of a Bookworm versus Demon Slayer.
All right. Babylon, and then Best Drama, Babylon, Carole Tuesday. I don't know why The Promised Neverland gets to be on both Best Drama and Best Fantasy. Babylon, Carole Tuesday, Fruits Basket, Stars Align, The Promised Neverland, and Vinland Saga. I'm going to give that to Vinland Saga because I think it's great.
Anyone but Carole Tuesday. Carole Tuesday is great, but its drama is hardly there, so it doesn't deserve to win that one.
Okay, finally, Best Opening Sequence and Best Ending Sequence. So we have Kiss Me by Night for Carole Tuesday, Kawaki no Ameku by Minami, Inferno by Mrs. Green Apple for Fire Force, 99.9 by Mob Choir for Mob Psycho 100, Touch Off by Overworld for The Promised Neverland, and Mukan Geo for Vinland Saga. I will say Vinland Saga 1 is a banger. Mob Psycho ones are a banger as well. I don't think I mentioned Domestic Girlfriend, but yeah, Fire Force Inferno by Mrs. Green Apple is, regardless of how you feel about that show, an absolute the most of bangers. And this was the thing, I love Fire Force. I didn't expect to see it on this list because it's generally like people are like, yeah, it's all right. But I was like, this needs to be on the best OP, and it was. I'm so happy for it, and it needs to win this.
I've actually seen 4 of these OPs, and they're all good contenders. I do like Kiss Me from Carole Tuesday. Inferno is really good.
Inferno is so good.
I think if we're just going to combine both the music and the visuals, personally, I would either want it to be Kiss Me or 99.9 from Mob Choir.
Yeah, but Mob's always good, especially with the animation. But yeah.
Yeah. And best ending sequence before we get onto the last category.
Hold Me Now, Carole Tuesday, Dororo, Fire Force again, Kaguya-sama Love is War, Sarazanmai, and Vinland Saga. They're all really good. I don't know whether Dororo should really win this one. I never really liked either its OPs or its EDs. Same with Fire Force as well, but generally I think they're really quite strong.
Yeah, let's see. Hold Me Now is a fun upbeat song, but I always got kind of intimidated by that one because Tuesday looks like a freaking porcelain doll, and it's kind of just disturbing having them both maintain fierce eye contact with you whilst walking towards you. So that one was a little odd. Veil was the first ED for Fire Force, wasn't it?
I think it was.
Man, I really liked the storytelling on that one. That was a really good use of ED time. It was weird that they decided to censor the images of the nuns at that one point for most of the show, but I understand why, because it's a very disturbing image.
Yeah. It's a very good big story. Like, it's a good story ED, which is rather than just like emotion-y stuff, which I think is really good, but can also count against it as well, depending on how invested people were in the story.
Yeah, it's technically a bit of a spoiler for a plot point, but it doesn't really prove it.
Yeah, you do kind of wonder, why is this the ED for a good period of it, and then like you realize it later.
I just thought that story plot wasn't going to get covered because it was covered in the ED, because the ED covered it really well. And also the Chica dance from Kaguya-sama Love is War was really popular for good reason. And that was very well put together. That was very good rotoscoping. So I hope that
for the line. Something. It's going to be for the memes. And so finally, with because we've been talking for over an hour and no one's going to listen. No one listens to the second half of these anyway. Nope, because I'm the one editing this. And so we have nominated for Anime of the Year. We have Carole Tuesday. I feel like we need to get Tom's full opinion on Carole Tuesday at some point, because we're getting just slips of it.
It's really popular in these anime awards, and I can't say if I agree.
So Carole Tuesday, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, there's no surprise there. Mob Psycho 102, Season 2, O Maidens in Your Savage Season, The Promised Neverland, and Vinland Saga. I'm surprised O Maiden in Your Savage Season is getting it, because it...
Yeah, everything else here has got way more nominations, so it is odd to have slipped in at the very end here.
It was critically acclaimed, it just really wasn't that popular, at all. So I can see why. I don't think it's going to win Anime of the Year, but I am kind of from what I hear of it, I am kind of glad it is repped here. For me, out of all those, just because it's one of the main ones I've watched, it's Vinland Saga so far, just because I love the story. It's essentially one of those... It's one of those anime that people thought was unfilmable. It's the same kind of thing. People compare it to Game of Thrones, and I really think it's up there. It feels like if this was in the hands of a different studio, a different director, it would be totally destroyed, but it's not. And I think that's a really cool thing.
It'll come to no surprise to anyone who's been listening to the talk for the last half hour, but Mob is my favourite to win, although I do believe Demon Slayer's taking this away. Demon Slayer already has this.
They're polishing their trophy cabinet home with Best Anime 2020 Crunchyroll Awards, and
I'm gonna be honest, I'd be happy with any of these winning other than Carole Tuesday, because out of the 4, I've actually watched 4 of these, And Carole Tuesday is my least favorite out of all of them. And I've technically watched one episode of Vinland Saga, and I felt more anxiety and nervousness and just emotion in general from one episode of Vinland Saga than I probably felt for most of the story of Carole Tuesday.
Wow.
So,
and on that bombshell, it's time to end the podcast because we've been going for so long. If you got to the end of this, well done. Like, seriously, I don't think I'm fully here for the end of this podcast. I don't know about the listeners. That's Geeks and Gaijins. You can always find us on the Facebooks, Twitter, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you find podcasts, you can probably find us. Also, we stream now on Twitch, generally on Fridays or Saturdays. Make sure you have a look at us there. Also, YouTube has some of our stuff. Do you have anything more to add, Tom?
Watch Mob Psycho.
Yeah, watch Mob Psycho. Watch Vinland Saga.
And Lost in Space. But that's just me.
Watch stuff. Bye.
Bye.